Yo, what is up, guys? It is your boy Gray's Age here, and this is What If Bell Had Yami Sukehiro's Powers, Part 3. So I know it's been a long time since I last posted a part for this What If. Well, I'm back and better than ever, and I'm here to post a part, plus 2 extra What Ifs after this. That being What If Loopy and a new What If. I'm not gonna tell you what, but you'll find out. Now, I hope you guys do enjoy this part to this What If. I'm gonna continue trying my best to give you more content. Hopefully, probably like waking up more early to do it. So yeah, but I hope you guys do enjoy this What If. Hope you guys do enjoy my channel, and I hope y'all enjoy yourselves. So, like I said, good luck to y'all. But besides all that, let's get started.
She gripping that dick like she was a lost star. She party at night like she was a rock star. She singing my song like Bella-dee-da. She calling me daddy, but not her father. Little Billy been thirsty like big as some water. Could give you the world with the wave of a wand. We feel the odd bitch Cosmo and Wanda.
Alright, guys, so let's begin this What If. So we begin with right now Bell, who's currently now chilling, as he is now being congratulated for defeating the beast. Now at this, Bell would right now have a plate of food in his hand, as he was right now at the same tavern that Seer went ahead and took him to. Well, the same one that Seer is in, as right now he's enjoying the food that is there. Now the reason for this is because, well, one, Goddess Hestia was currently right now resting in another room, considering the fact that due to all the adrenaline and everything after the last event, it caused her to go ahead and pass out. So with that, he has to stay there and wait for her to recover. But besides all that, still, he goes ahead and, enjoys himself. As Bell would right now just be eating his food, Seer will walk up to him and ask if he enjoyed the food, with him nodding in agreement. Yeah, it's really good. Although, I can't believe y'all making a big deal out of it. It wasn't really that strong, he would say. At this, Seer goes ahead and laughs. Of course, you will be the only one to say something like that. At this would just confuse Bell. However, he had to admit, though, he was glad about the day's event. Not only did he have to slay a monster, but he also got this new weapon. And by reading its enchantment, it seemed like no matter how strong it gets as strong as he gets. So that means that this weapon is gonna be as strong as he is, and this brings a smile on Bell's face. So with all that being said, Bell goes ahead and puts the katana, back in its sheath, as they go ahead and begin to party for the entire day. Time skip, next day. So Hestia had finally gotten up, and her and Bell returned home, where Hestia goes ahead and decides that she was gonna relax. Unlike in canon, but Hestia doesn't need to go ahead and work for Hephaestus, considering the fact that she did not really need to, do her a favor. So with that, Bell decides that why the heck not does he just go ahead and go to the dungeon? Even though Hestia was trying to tell him, why don't you relax? But he's like, nah, I'm good. So with that, he goes ahead and goes to the dungeon. Or at least he tries to. As when he arrives at the guild, Enna, the guild employee, yes, I finally remember her name, but when he arrives there, Enna, the person at the guild who he mostly goes to, he goes ahead and somehow let it slip that he was going to go to a higher floor, and this is when she freaks out. What? You're going to a higher floor? Now this, Bell just knew that he should have kept his mouth shut. So for the whole time, Bell has never really told her that she's been going to the higher floors. And the reason for that was as soon as he became an adventurer and she checked out his stats, she was just in shock. And when he told her that he was going to go to a very high floor, she told him that she instantly began to flip out and everything, even though he had already pretty good stats. If she checks my stats now, I would never hear the end of it, he would think. At this, he goes ahead and just chuckles as he says, I've been doing it forever now. And look how much money I was able to bring back to the goddess. I should be fine. At this, she goes ahead and, really thinks about it. She then says, show me your stats. Great. So, we go ahead and check out when Bell's got his stats checked. And Enna is just completely baffled. These stats are unreal. He has a skill too? just what the heck is going on? Now, the difference is she doesn't really know what skill he has. The only thing that she's able to recognize was that all his abilities, everything, were all the way high leveled. At this, she'll then go ahead and say, "Hey, Belle, have you checked what rank you are now?" And this is what Belle actually goes ahead and stops. Actually, no, I didn't. So at this, Belle goes ahead and decides that maybe he should go ahead and get his stats checked. But as soon as he gets up, Edna actually goes ahead and offers him that she would take him shopping for some new gear. At first, he was gonna decline, saying, I already got my katana and that's it. But after looking into her eyes, which just show she's using the puppy eye no jutsu, he goes ahead and sighs. Those things are powerful, he would think. So after all that, Belle goes ahead and returns back home, of course. And when he arrives there once again, the goddess becomes a goddess missile, slams into his chest, and just begins to nuzzle on it. Are you ever gonna stop? I told you this for like the 1 millionth time, he would think in his mind. At this, he goes ahead and puts down Hestia, once again giving her a head pat, as he goes ahead and asks her to check out his stats. I mean, it's been a while since the last time you did it. It's been like, what, 3 to 4 whole days? At this, she realized that yes, it's true. So with that, she goes ahead and sets Belle on it, as she goes ahead and does the same thing in canon, much to the goddess liking. As when she goes ahead and checks out his stats, she once again passes out. Oh my god, how could she do this for another time? He would think. At this point, Hestia will go ahead and get up, as she'll begin to scream her mind out, saying, "Why did you go? How far did you train? Why did this happen? Oh, please don't walk away from me." As this, she goes ahead and begins to say a bunch of random stuff that Belle can't even keep up with. Slow down, calm down, and explain it. At this, Hestia, after taking a bunch of cups of water and chugging it down, as well as taking a few deep breaths, she goes ahead and begins to explain. Belle went up a rank. Now at this, silence completely falls on the area until Belle's like, "Oh, really? Cool." At this, Hestia just looks at Belle in disbelief. "Hello, Belle, you just went up a level. In almost, 2 months? 3? Belle, this is the fastest that anyone has leveled up." The last time anyone got up this fast was... At this, you then remember Eyes Wallenstein, who actually got up a level, who actually, ranked up by over a year. But Belle just did it in like a month. At this, she just couldn't rack her brain around it. Well, let's see. I mean, I guess I'm pretty impressive, he would say. At this, she again says, "Pretty impressive? Pretty impressive? Do you have any idea how strong you're getting?" At this, he goes ahead and shrugs. She then thinks that maybe just in a few months, Belle's gonna be the strongest adventurer. At this, she'll then have a sly look. Well, I mean, heck, if Belle's the strongest, that means that I'm, by association, gotta be the best goddess. She begins to have a very funny idea of it. At this, Belle will go ahead and look at it one more time. He has to admit, he's a bit disappointed. Why am I level 2? Why can't I go any higher? At this, Belle at least thought that he was, considering the fact that Belle is a level 2 adventurer, but he has the strength that definitely far surpasses that. At this, he goes ahead and shrugs his shoulders, saying that I guess he has to work harder. So at this, Belle begins to walk off, while Hestia already knows that news of Belle's new level will go ahead and spread throughout in the entire area, and the goddess are definitely now for sure after him. I just hope that Belle stays by me, she would think. At this, she goes ahead and begins on a frenzy, saying that pretty much she goes ahead and goes on a frenzy about Belle, saying that he's hers or everything. So after all of that, we go ahead and do a time skip to the next day. So when Belle shows up, you'll see Iya, of course. Edna. And pretty much she's pretty much there, in dressing clothing. And she goes ahead and blushes when she sees Belle arrive. And she has to admit, he looks good. So with this, she goes ahead and spaces out, drooling a little bit, as Belle goes ahead and snaps his fingers. Hello? Hello? Are you there? Come on, get up. Jeez, it's like Hestia all over again, he would think. At this, she goes ahead and snaps out of it with a very deep blush on her face, She begins to, chuckle a little bit, saying, "Oh, nice to see you. How about we go?" At this, Belle just says, "Lead the way," to which they do so. So at this, she goes ahead and takes Belle to the best places to go ahead and find armor. Now at this, at first she thought that Belle might be a little bit broke, but to her surprise, Belle actually has a lot of money, and that's mostly due to the fact that he gained every last one of those coins by himself. At this, she really wonders, how did Belle even have that level? As to be honest, Belle's stats and power is too above any of the other familias. Even the Sword Princess definitely couldn't have stats like that. So after walking around, Belle goes ahead and eventually he does pick up something. Not really much. He ends up buying a cloak. Yeah, he pretty much bought a cloak that he actually likes. It's black, and the cloak also came with the hoodie, which she enjoyed. It was jet black too, so it fits well with his katana. That looked nice, he would say. The only thing that he was upset about is that if he had black hair, then he would look really cool. But then again, you gotta do what's best. So after that, she goes ahead and gives Belle a new sheath for his katana. This one actually looks brand spanking new and actually looks cool. At this, he goes ahead and gives her a smile, causing Anna to blush as she goes ahead and runs back to the guild, flustered. I still never gonna get used to this, he would think. At this, he goes ahead and takes out his sheath, throws the old one away and puts on the new one that the guild receptionist got him. Alright, off to the dungeon, he would think. So after all that's done, we go ahead and now do a time skip to when Belle's in the dungeon. Now, Belle's now in the dungeon and he's been taking down all the monsters as if they were nothing. Come on. I guess maybe I shouldn't really expect much. At this, Belle's right now considering maybe he should go to the higher floors to get a bigger challenge. But then again, he continues racking his brain around the thought, completely ignoring all the monsters that try to jump him, as two of them were actually really big. As they go ahead and try to smash their fist into Belle, Belle would go ahead and begin to unleash a purplish aura, causing the beast to actually back away. "Can you see I'm trying to think here? Do it again, I kill you," he would say. At this, the beast go ahead and actually begin to fall under the pressure, going down to her knees and breathing heavily, as Belle goes ahead and stops it. And he literally, without any nerves at all, just sits on the head of one of the beasts. So let me see. I could go to the higher floors. So we go ahead and once again do a time skip to when Belle's out of the dungeon, as he once again had a large bag of money, as he goes ahead and returns back home to get some rest. Time skip. Next day. Belle is now just wandering around town, considering the fact that he has nothing better to do unless he wants to go to a dungeon. But as he was walking around, he would then hear someone's getting hurt, he would think. As he goes ahead and looks around into an alleyway, as inside that alleyway we see a guy who's right now just kicking the crap out this little girl. As the man continues yelling at her to give him back his stuff, as he goes ahead and pulls out his blade, ready to injure the girl permanently. However, just as he was about to hurt the girl, in an instant, Belle's appears right next to him with the katana at his neck. "Watch it, buddy. My blade can cut through your flesh as if it was nothing." At this, the man was just looking at this man in shock. "I didn't even see him," he would think. At this, Belle goes ahead and looks at the girl and speaks. "Is he causing you any trouble?" he would ask. At this, the girl will go ahead and look at Belle in shock, as she would have she would go ahead and nod. As Belle goes ahead and turns to the man. Now, when Belle turns, she'll go ahead and use the opportunity to run away, while Belle goes ahead and deals with the guy. "Listen, man, just because you're some adventurer, don't go ahead and start thinking that you can do whatever you want." At this, the man goes ahead and grits his teeth and even says, "Who are you? How dare you get in my way? Oh, let me guess, you're working with her, aren't you? I'm surprised you don't want your stuff back already." At this, Belle narrows his eyes as he goes ahead and says, "Wait, what are you talking about?" At this, just as the man was about to explain it, Belle goes ahead and once again cuts him off and says, "Never mind, don't care." as he goes ahead and walks off, putting the katana back in his sheath. But I'm just letting you know, stop causing trouble already. If you get your stuff stolen, that's your dumbass fault. Don't go around attacking the don't go around trying to kill the person. At this, the man goes ahead and looks at the man as if he was crazy. Yeah, what happens if everyone took everything away from you? At this is where Bell goes ahead and stops in his tracks, as he didn't remember a couple of things during his past. At this, Bell goes ahead and stops. Taking away a few things from me, that's nothing. But taking away everything I have, and I mean everything? At this, Bell goes ahead and releases a ginormous pressure, causing the man to quiver out in fear as the air around him becomes thicker. I can barely breathe, he says, as he looks at Bell. I'll kill them, he would say, as his eyes, instead of being the normal red slits, his eyes become dull and emotionless. As looking at it, it sends a shiver down his spine. As the man will run away, little did Bell know was that someone was watching him. Well, two people. He could already sense the first one, and that being, well, the little girl. The other one was, well, Rue, who actually worked at the tavern. Now, at this, Rue was actually wondering, if you guys don't know who Rue is, it's the one with it's the elf with the green hair, the one that works in the tavern with Seer, the one with the gray hair. Yeah, that's her. As you know, Rue, who's now looking at all this, can't help but just feel shaken. Those look in his eyes, as she will again remember Bell's dull, cold eyes. As the only thing that was inside of them was rage. That was nothing compared to the Bell that she has seen around. That Bell looked like he can just destroy the man just by looking at him. As Bell goes ahead and walks off, said girl was also felt the pressure, was afraid, but she also got a smile on her face, thinking that she just got some new prey. So with that, Bell goes ahead and eventually he walks back to the guild, of course, as when he goes ahead and asks to go on when he goes ahead and asks for him to go to the dungeon, the girl, well, Enna goes ahead and speaks, saying that wouldn't it be better for him to go ahead and get a party member? At this, he begins to think about it as he shakes his head, saying, nah, I don't need a party member. I'm already strong enough as it is. But at this, Enna goes ahead and begins to so-called power poke him. What are you doing? Bell would ask as he looks at her with a sweat drop. At this, she goes ahead and says, I'm poking you until you get a new member. At this goes on for about like 5 minutes as Bell is getting pretty much annoyed as he then goes ahead and speaks. Fine, I'll get a member. Can you stop now? At this, she goes ahead and gives him a heartwarming smile as he walks off. At this, now listen, if you're wondering why Bell's being so, well, lenient, it's because there's different things. When it comes to, well, if the woman is kind and that he knows them and everything, he's not going to do anything to them. If it's a guy who's trying to push him over and everything, he beats the crap out of them. And if it's a woman with a really shitty attitude, he goes ahead and makes sure that they at least piss their pants and run away. Because Bell, like I said, he's kind, but he can also be very, very cruel when you want to see it. So with that, Bell begins to walk, of course, to the place where he knows. But as he is walking, he goes ahead and sees a girl over there. Wait a minute, he would say, as he goes ahead and recognizes the key. Oh, it's you. From yesterday, he would say. At this, said girl will go ahead and yelp as she goes ahead and turns to Bell, who's right now looking at her. As when she sees Bell's red, slitted eyes looking at her, she goes ahead and gets scared a little bit. It's crazy. In this, the girl would think, in this form, he's already scary enough. But in that one, as she remembers Bell's lifeless eyes, she didn't know which one was scarier. Now, there's something, because considering the fact that Bell's dull and lifeless eyes, they just give off this aura, it's just nothing in there spells anything of any personality or anything. It just spells of a hunter. It's like a prey going full on, a prey just finally time for devouring its prey. So yeah, she's just scared of Bell right now. But then again, Belle does look like he gets a lot of money, so yeah. At this, she goes ahead and asks if he is needing a someone to team up with, of course, a supporter. And at this, Belle goes ahead and nods and asks, "So, you're a supporter, huh? Well then, do you want to help me?" He would ask. At this, the girl will go ahead and nod, saying that she would support Master Belle. I'm not saying that. I'm not going to go ahead and say that for the whole time. I'm just calling him Belle. But I'm just letting you know, she calls him Master Belle. So after all that, Belle goes ahead and nods and gives her a pat on the head, causing the girl to go ahead and blush as she begins to shout at him, telling him that, you shouldn't really do that to people that you don't really know, with him apologizing. At this, she goes ahead and tells him that she so-called touched her special spot, which is the ears, okay, you weirdos. But yeah, she goes ahead and explains to him that whole thing as he apologizes, and actually gives her a bag of money, much to the girl's surprise. "Do you just carry this on you?" she would ask. At this, Belle shrugged. It's enough to buy me some food and stuff like that. At this, she goes ahead and realizes that Belle must be filthy rich if he's walking around with a bag like this. And she thinks that by hanging out with him, she's going to be able to steal a lot of stuff. So, change of scene. In the dungeon. We now see Belle, who's right now blitzing through all the monsters, destroying them all, as he goes ahead and coats his sword in, dark magic. Dark cloak. Lifeless slash, you would say, as he goes ahead and cuts off the head of multiple of them. At this, in the corner, of course, well, more or less in the back, said girl was just watching all of this in complete shock. What the heck? As soon as they arrived at the dungeon, his personality did a whole 180. It was not like all kind and everything. He was serious. It was almost as if looking at an experienced warrior in battle, which Belle seemed to be. At this, she can't help but get a little bit interested, considering the fact that, Belle looks like a mystery, alright? But come on now, can we blame her? So as Belle goes ahead and slays through all of them, she goes ahead and picks up the magic crystals. As Belle goes ahead and speaks, "Oh yeah, you can put that all up in that bag over there," he would say. At this, she goes ahead and wonders what bag, as when she turns around to look at the bag she's talking about, she will see a pretty big bag that's full of gems. What? How did they all get in there? At this, he says, "I picked it up and put it in there." "You did it all by yourself? I didn't even see you." At this, Belle just shrugs. "I don't know, I guess I'm fast." Anyway, there's some more monsters coming. I'm gonna go to the higher floors to go ahead and take care. "Come on, supporter," he would say. At this, said girl would nod. As Belle's not being mean, by the way. He's just saying, come on, let's go. So, after they go ahead and get to a higher floor, Belle once again does the task. Of course, man's doing the job, finessing them all. As Lily, yep, I finally remember the name. As Lily, who was watching this entire thing, would just be in shock, and more or less she felt pretty useless, but then again, she enjoyed the feeling. So after a while, they finally reached they eventually reached the 9th floor. Now at this, Belle would gone ahead and sit down, of course taking a break, of course, as he decided he was planning to go maybe, just maybe, to the 12th floor today, as he really wants to see how much money he can make getting up there. While Lily goes ahead and prepares some lunch, of course, she will then see Belle with two boxes, of course. "What, is that for me?" she would ask. At this, Belle goes ahead and nods. "Well, I did plan to get a supporter today, so I got lunch for both of us." At this, she just nods. When she opens her box, she will see a beautiful and a pretty large amount of food. "What?" she would say, as this looks delicious. Now, it's not on Sanji or Soma's level, but it still looks delicious. But then again, anime can almost make anything look delicious. Almost anything. Remember that. Sorry for headphone users if I accidentally, hurt them. So, after all that, Belle goes ahead and eats his food, along with Lilia. She has to admit, this guy is pretty strange. But right now, she just couldn't comprehend what's going on. As right now, she's pretty sure that after this one outing with Belle, she may have enough money to pay off her little problem. As right now, Belle has two ginormous bags full of crystals just from slaying monsters. Alright, let's go. At this, just as he says let's go, a bunch of monsters go ahead and be summoned as he pulls out his katana. Alright, you bastards. Bring it on. I want you to pass your damn limits, he would say, as he goes ahead and charges up. As he goes ahead and uses Monoskin to go ahead and dash off at amazing speeds. And once again, she goes ahead and sees Bell surrounded by the purplish aura, and she wonders, like, what type of magic is he using? So after all that, Bell finally arrives at the 11th floor. Alright, the 11th floor, he would say. At this is probably around the floor where they go ahead and actually get surrounded. They go ahead and actually get surrounded by these orgs. But once again, Bell's able to handle all of them. Too easy, he would say. Now, the thing is, Bell's also getting a little bit of a workout here, considering the fact that, since Bell's not only looking, this time Bell's not just looking out for himself, he's looking out for his new member. I can't get her to get injured here, he would think, as he looks at the girl who's right now just watching all of this. At this, he goes ahead and sighs. After he takes care of one more org, he decides to walk back to her. Look, I'm sorry, but if I continue fighting like this, and I continue getting worried about you, I might end up getting injured. So, at this, he goes ahead and pulls out a spell book. Goes ahead and pulls out his grimoire, activating a spell. Now at this, the girl will look at Bell confused. Of course, I'm talking about Lily, who goes ahead and looks at Bell confused, considering the fact like she never seen a book like that before. What is it? She wondered. However, just as she was about to ask, she would then be enveloped in this dark sphere. What are you doing? She would say. At this, Bell goes ahead and calms her down. Calm down, all right. This is one of the spells in my spell book. It pretty much is. You're pretty much, as long as you're in here, you're safe, he would say. At this, she goes ahead and just wonders, just what the heck is he talking about? As she tries to, she tries to see what's going on, but Belle just tells her to just stay put in there, and said as long as that she was in there, no monsters would come after her. At this, she just looks at Belle's back, as he goes ahead and jumps back into action, once again defeating all the monsters, this time even faster than he does than usual. This guy is crazy, she would think. So, we go ahead and eventually do a time skip. They actually made it all the way to the 12th floor. Yes, the 12th floor. And this floor this floor was just pretty easy for Belle, as Belle was pretty much amazing. As she goes ahead, speaking of amazing, Belle goes ahead and continues getting complimented by Lily. She goes ahead and tells him how amazing he was, and that she never seen someone like that so far. At this, Belle goes ahead and shrugs, saying, it's not really anything impressive. As she goes ahead and say, What do you mean it's not impressive? That was the most impressive thing I ever seen. As he goes ahead and narrow his eyes. What the heck is up with her? As Belle, the entire time, he's also been reading Lily. And so far, she's been the entire time, although she acts as if she's pretty much, dumb and everything, like she's a little lost puppy, he can tell that she has some sort of bad intent behind it all. I don't really know what she is or what she's doing, but I better keep an eye out, he would think. However, for Lily, she was running multiple thoughts in her mind. How could this be? With all this money, there's nothing else I need to do, she would say as she looks at the bags of money. However, she probably thinks that she's only going to get a small portion of it, considering the fact that all adventurers are all the same. So eventually, after they're out of the dungeon, and after they get all the bags of money, Belle goes ahead and gives her... As soon as he arrives at the guild, everyone will look at the bags of crystals and everything, and the man's just like, Belle, you worked even more. And of course, I'm talking about the guy who gives Belle the money, of course. As he goes ahead and shrugs, hey, I gotta help someone else here, he would say. As he goes ahead and moves his shoulders a little bit, indicating Lily here. However, Lily doesn't pick up on it. At this, the man would nod as he gives Belle ginormous bags of money, much to Lily's surprise. "No way," she would say. As once they go ahead and set the money on the table, she goes ahead and begins to discuss with Belle, saying that, maybe it's about time they go ahead and talk about who gets the money and everything, who gets how many percent. However, to her surprise, Belle tells her that she did a good job and walks off without taking not one single bit of money. "Wait, what are you doing?" Lily would say, as she goes ahead and looks at Belle. Belle goes ahead and turns around. "Oh, you can have that money. In fact, all of us right now in the Hestia familia, we already have a pretty large amount of money. And if I bring those 2 bags at home over there, he's just gonna fill up the basement all over again. And I'm not going through all that again." At this, he remembers when Hestia one time took him shopping, and he never wants to go through that whole hassle again. So, with that, he goes ahead and walks off. As this would just shock Lily. "With all this money, I can. As she begins to have tears in her eyes, as she just realized that Belle Cornell had just saved her. With all this money, she could be out of that stupid familia. She could live a new life. At this, she goes ahead and begins to run after Belle, actually. Now, Belle was not really a far distance away. However, just as she was about to continue walking, he would then be hugged from behind. At first he was about to counter, but as soon as he read the key, he calmed down. "Lily, what are you doing?" At this, Lily couldn't help it, but she goes ahead and just gives Belle a hug until she realizes what she's doing and backs off with a large blush on her face. That was just, "Thank you for the money," she would say. Although she tried to hide it inside her voice, he could tell that she was genuinely grateful. So at this, he goes ahead and chuckles, telling her that, it was alright. Which, to her, just thinks that this man is just crazy. With that, Belle goes ahead and walks off, causing her to just look at him one more time, putting her hand to her chest, as she then says, "No, but seriously, thank you." "You're welcome," said Belle once again, and she blushes a little bit. He still heard that from that distance? Just because I'm far away does not mean I can't hear you. Jeez. At this, she goes ahead and chuckles as she goes and picks up the 2 ginormous bags of money and walks off to give it to her familia and finally get out of there. So, back with Belle. Belle had arrived home, and at this point, Hestia had somehow, some way found out that he had this girl, Lily, as a supporter. She begins to complain to Belle, saying that he found another woman and everything, as Belle goes ahead and sighs. "Oh my god. I know I'm not supposed to think this, but dear goddess, you are annoying," he would think. At this, somehow, someway, Hestia was able to hear his thing, and she was going to say, "You think I'm annoying too? How the heck did you..." Oh my god. At this, Belle does the one thing that he could do to cheer her up, and that is to pamper her. Considering the fact that Hestia, sometimes when she feels like it, she has Belle pamper her. Sort of like, practically does whatever she wants. Now we go ahead and do a change of scene, as back in the alley, we see a Lily with a serious expression and 2 ginormous bags of money. At this, 3 men who were there go ahead and give her a smile. Well, Runt, what do you have on you?" he would say. At this, the girl goes ahead and looks at him. "Here," she would say. She goes ahead and throws the ginormous bags of money towards them, as causing the guys to actually jump back in surprise. "How?" At this, Lily goes ahead and speak. "I was able to get all this money. That's enough to get me out of that horrible familia." At this, the man go ahead and laugh as he goes ahead and chuckles. "Wow, I have to admit, you have a very, very good job. But then, let me tell you this. You're a stupid idiot." At this, you go ahead and wonder what he meant. However, just like that, suddenly 2 men from behind grab her arms as she gets punched in the stomach. "What?" "Looks like it's finally time for you to leave the familia. Sadly, the only way for you to leave is by death," said one of the men. At this, Lily goes ahead and goes wide-eyed. They were using her. That was it. They were going to use her, and after that, they were going to kill her. That was their job. They used her to get all the money for them, And after that, this was all set up. At this, they begin to beat down on her. As the men finally, after having enough of beating her up, they go ahead and pull out katanas as they're planning to end her life. At this, Lily, who is now on the ground, beaten up, will begin to cry. This is it. Adventurers, they're the worst. They're evil. I hate adventurers. I hate them. But I don't want to die. At this, she goes ahead and begins to have the flashbacks, of course, of all the terrible things adventurers done to her, taking away the thing that she wanted for most of her life, that being able to have people that she can care about, all of it. I hate them. Even at this, she will suddenly remember Belle and how everything that he did during the dungeon for her. She would then say, maybe even him too. However, just as she was expecting death to go ahead and finally claim her, it was too late. Wait, who the hell are... As suddenly all the men's head would then be flown off, as they were all killed in an instant. I'm pretty sure no one will remember you, and even if they did, I'll beat the crap out of them too. At this, she would then hear a familiar voice, and she would go ahead and turn to it. Belle? She would say. At this, suddenly standing over a bunch of dead bodies would be Belle, as his eyes were just there looking down at all of them, as they seemed to be glowing dangerously, as a purple orb was also going off of Belle. I may not have known her for long, but I at least know that you shouldn't pick on someone. So, it's official, and besides, you guys were gonna kill her, so what's the excuse not to kill you? At this, he goes ahead and taps the blunt end of the katana next to his neck as he goes ahead and turns to her. Sorry you had to deal with stuff like this, but you really should have gone ahead and asked for help. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know a couple of people who will go ahead and help you with this. At this, the girl, Lily, couldn't believe her eyes, as she just couldn't believe it. The first time she saw Belle, she really planned on just robbing the guy and taking him everything. But this same man, first of all, during the dungeon, he kept her safe. After that, he fed her. Once again, kept her safe throughout the entire time. Got her a big bunch of money just because he felt like it. He had done so many kind things for her, and now he saved her from her curse. And saved her from death. If you want to go ahead and get out that familia, you need to grow a pair and go ahead and say it yourself. You can't rely on others to take care of your problems. You need to face them head on. At this, she goes ahead and looks at Belle. As Belle goes ahead and just realizes something. Well, I'm tired, and it's pretty late at night. You should go home too, or find a hotel to relax. As for me, I'm gonna go to sleep. See ya, he would say as he walks off. At this, she'll go ahead and look at him, and she then yells, "Wait a minute, why did you do all this?" she would ask. At this, Belle goes ahead and shrugs. I don't know. I hear someone in danger, and I just rush over here to help them. I mean, seriously, do you need a reason to help someone in danger? He would ask. At this, she just couldn't believe that some guy like this actually existed. Just what are you? At this, Belle goes ahead and stops walking away as he goes ahead and speaks. I'm just some sort of idiot who has a hero complex, he would think. I'm just a regular adventurer. So with that, Belle walks away, leaving Lily now beaten but free from death, able to go ahead and continue on living, and finally finally free her from her curse, or at least a part of it. At this, Lily just realized that she still had a bunch of the money, and that she can get all these guys. Belle left so many things for her to use. Did he even notice? No, he definitely noticed, but at this, she realized that Belle once again had helped her. At this, she goes ahead and for the very first time in a very long time, she cries. She cries her hardest that she ever did that night. As Belle who is right now leaning against the wall, hearing her, finally cry, he goes ahead and smiles. Now the rest is up to you. He would say. At this, he goes ahead and actually walks off back home, hoping to get a good night's sleep and maybe a meal and some drink, of course. As this will be the end to part 3 of What If Belle had Yami Sukehiro's powers. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think that what do y'all think is gonna happen to Lily now? Do you think she finally might be able to get out of the Familia? What do you think will happen to the Hestia Familia when after Belle's leveling up goes ahead and comes across everyone? And how strong do you think Belle would be? Well, we're just gonna have to find out next time. I hope you guys do enjoy this what if, this part of it at least. And either way, it is Great Zage, and I'm out. Peace.